appreciate and everybody, our attendees, thank you for coming. I'm very overwhelmed on our support for PulseCon, and you know, this is an innovation, right? About cryptocurrencies, about your money. Don't we want to know more about our money? Where is it going? What's the future of it? That's what we're going to talk about these 2 days, because it's important that everybody understands, right? So if you want to know where you're going, you need to know a little bit of the history of the past, and that's what I'm going to talk about, is the history of where we've been and where we're going with this whole thing called cryptocurrency, right? Blockchain, metaverse, Web3, NFTs. Those are some of the jargons that's out there, right? And so really, not everybody understands what is all that about, like completely. I mean, does everybody understand? So I wanted to just raise your hand if you have a cryptocurrency. Anybody that's, right? So a good three-fourths of the room has cryptocurrency. Who does not have cryptocurrency right now? In their wallet, or a few of you, and that's why you're here, because you're like, what is this about? Like, what? I want to know, right? So, so I'm going to go ahead and do my slide presentation. Give me a minute. Okay. Oh, one? You're good. I'm good. Oh, there it is. So, the history of economic tech. So, the thing is that as money evolved, right, we as people evolved as well. So, I go there. Okay, before, you know, a long time ago, we would just trade in different stuff, right? I mean, it's just pretty logical. We would just barter, right? We had, as form of money, we had precious stones, seeds, skins. You know, we bartered between each other. There was no middleman in the middle. It was pretty simple. We were very tribal, and that's where we were. And so as the economy went forward, you know, then we started getting gold, silver coins, paper money. And that's what made money, right? And that's how you traded different. I know, it's very dumbified right now, I know. I'm wondering why we're talking about all this stuff. So, and then we got a little bit more complicated, right? There was the check systems, the bank checks, traveler's checks. I don't know if you guys remember that. Who remembers traveler's checks? I do. Right? I would go to Europe and I would go to my bank and they would issue me some travel checks. Then I gotta go over there and go to like a little exchange, little booth, and I would get their native, you know, get euros or whatever, right? Your native coin that you're visiting. And then of course you have today's currency, which is a fiat currency, and it's called the Federal Reserve note. It's not a dollar, by the way. Exactly. Yeah? So it says right there, it says Federal, right in the front, right there. You read it right there, it says Federal Reserve note. So they're not lying about it, okay? And so this is the Federal Reserve seal, and this is the, right here, that's the Treasury, US Treasury, and this is a relationship between them, and because it's a note, and that's the debt. And so we use debt as a form of money today. Who knew that? Right? Probably half of you. The other half is like, what? Right? What's going on? So yeah, so because it says it's a note is a debt. So this is a debt between the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury, and because of that, right, that's what we use. Imagine you going to the car dealership, grabbing a car, and you know they have those big legal, you know, sets of, you sign away and everything, and it has a principal and it has interest, and you have to make payments. Well, that's what this is. That's a debt. So these guys got to pay back, or no, us as a taxpayer, we got to pay back to the Federal Reserve with what? Interest, right? So that's what we pay. So isn't there a better way? This way has been around since 1913, and I think we can dictate there's a better way, and that's why we're here. We want to innovate our money system. So there's the Federal Reserve banking system. There's 12 districts, and it's all carved up. Because we're here in Nevada, we're in District 12. So if you see your bank and your checkbook, there's called a routing number. And the routing number starts, well, if you're here in Nevada, it starts with 12. Why? Because it's District 12. And your check actually gets cleared in District 12. So, then we got a little bit more complicated. We got stock certificates as money, we have bonds as money, as things. Then we got credit cards. Who remembers the first credit card? Right? Diners Club, right? It was about 1950s. It was in New York. This one man said, you know what, he was embarrassed because he left his wallet at home and he had this big dinner to do, this hoity-toity New York restaurant. And he says, you know what, I'm so embarrassed I can't pay my bill. Hey, can I come back and pay it? And that's how the Diners Club started. And it was issued as this piece of paper. It was actually paper, like a little card, and you were a card carrying member, you paid a fee, and then all these other banks started getting on it, and like American Express, Visa, MasterCard, which you guys know already, right? And now it's a piece of plastic, and now you don't even need a piece of plastic to do a credit card. You can just kind of wave your phone, right? And you can charge it. So, all right. So of course then became the debit cards, right? Now you don't need to use checks. I remember my mom and my grandparents, they would write checks all the time to pay their bills. Not anymore. Who uses a check still? Yeah, a couple of, that's it, right? You few a little bit. I mean, yeah, sure, I do. So then there became the payment merchant networks. Because in the 80s and 90s, we needed the ATMs. Remember those? Do you remember before there was no ATMs? I don't know. Some people are young here, some do remember there was no ATMs. And so it was a little, this whole merchant network, right? You have the little card, you have your debit card, and you slip it in this, you go to the Target or Walmart, and for payment, you would slip in the little chip, right? And then you put your password or your number, or your key number, PIN number, and that's how they charge your card, right? And it goes straight from your checking account. Everybody understands that, right? Right. Awesome. I don't have to explain it. So this is where we're at. So this is what happened. So all of these ATMs, machines, actually I'm gonna go back a little bit. All these ATM machines, they're on a network. They're computers. Most of your paper money is in digital format. So since the 1990s. So it's nothing new. Cryptocurrency is nothing new. In other words, digital money is nothing new. Banks, when you go to an ATM machine, that's what you're doing. It's cryptographed, it's a server, talks to another server, and that goes to your bank server, and it's all just asking this question. Does this person have enough money to, pay for this, garment, underwear, or whatever, right? So, you can even, I got people that charged I'm still paying for my underwear that I bought on my credit card like last year, right? So, anyways, just a little joke. So, anyways, so now we're in cryptocurrency. See, what happened in 2008? Anybody can tell me what happened to the economy in 2008? Huh?
Crash.
Yeah, crash. There was a crash in the banking system, right? And this guy, maybe it was a guy, maybe it was a girl. Who knows, right? I'm hoping it was a girl. Organized an association, we don't know. Satoshi, right? Created this network, this new network called Bitcoin. But instead of like Visa and MasterCard, right? It's the same thing. You have the node, which is the actual debit card, right? You have your private keys, which is the Visa number, right? You have your public keys, and then you have your private keys, which is your PIN number, right? It's the same issue. So Bitcoin is a network. If most people think it's a coin or a form of money, yes, absolutely. But not only that, it's a network. It's a network of servers that you plug in. They have the miners, right? And they validate your transactions. So when you go to Target and you go into that little machine and you slip that debit card in that machine, that's called a validator, by the way. And that's all it's doing, it's validating your transaction. So instead of it being now Visa and MasterCard, they're a centralized, right? They have a CEO, they're a publicly traded company, right? So when the housing market and the whole debacle in 2008, right? What was it? These guys said, well, there's got to be a different solution here. That's why Bitcoin Network started as a experiment, as a pilot program, to say, you know what? No more middlemen anymore. We don't need you. We don't need this third party involved. Let's go back to how it used to be, where if I want to trade my fish and with your ham, I don't need a middleman to do that transaction. I can do it straight up with you. And I don't need some guy to give you escrow, and it goes to escrow, and then, find the title for the fish, and then, you sign it off, and then, do an inspection on the fish and just make sure it's okay to eat, right? Sounds familiar? Property, anybody in real estate, right? That's a long, drawn-out process. So why don't we just shorten that whole process? Interesting how the future is gonna be. So, let me compare. So in 2008, Bitcoin Network started as a pilot program. And to me, let's talk about the music. I'm in a music industry. In the music industry, you remember the vinyls, right? Once you press that vinyl, the music on that vinyl, that's it. It's immutable, right? Do you remember that wanna, and it had the little scratch on it? And you're like, okay, that was it. You had to break that or buy a new one, right? You couldn't, after it was scratched, it was scratched. You couldn't do nothing with it. Same thing, Bitcoin is the network or the blockchain is immutable. It's been pressed, the block has been pressed, and that's it. You can't change it. There's no going back. So then in 2015, there was innovation. Do you remember in the music industry, the next thing was the cassette tape. Remember those? Yeah. Right? I remember my big boombox. But what was the biggest thing that, the big innovation about the cassette tape? Do you guys remember?
Record.
That's right. It's the record button.
Yeah.
A vinyl, you couldn't record on a vinyl. But now I have the liberty, the freedom to actually grab a blank tape, put it in my boombox, and make a mixtape for my honey bunny. You get it?
Yeah.
And so that was the innovation, that little record button. And then, it was normal. Then you had your Walkmans and you have your other little players, but that technology lasted a long time, right? And whoever's in the music industry here, you guys remember, it was different in the 80s and 90s, right? You had the albums, the album covers. That was very nice. I mean, the videos, the music videos, right? Those were innovations. So we're doing the same thing with the financial tech. We're innovating. And that's called cryptocurrency. So in 2015, that was what the innovation was, that the Ethereum network had the smart contract. It's the record button. You can actually record on top of the blockchain. That's it. It's that simple. I want to make sure that people understand, what are we talking about? We don't have to super complicate this stuff, all right? So that when you're talking about, hey, I'm going to be investing in an Ethereum or even Bitcoin, you understand what you're investing in. Just like vinyls, to this day, yeah, it's a collector's item, yes or no? You got the guys that have the right gloves and they're all about vinyls, and they're vinyl maxis. Absolutely, right? And you're like, hey, they got their big, whole rows and rows of vinyls, and they're collector items, right? Ethereum, right, is a cassette tape because it has the record button, has the smart contract. NFT is a smart contract, by the way, right? It's a certificate of authenticity on something, on a JPEG or something digitally. That's it. Think of it like your title, your car title, right? Your car title has a number, like a little VIN number. Remember that every car has a VIN number. That's your NFT. That's the NFT that goes with that car to make sure that that's, the DMV is registered and that you own that, and it's the possessor, right, that has the title, and you have that ownership. So that's what's coming up. How do you know you have your ownership on your digital assets? When you're on an exchange, do you have that ownership? Or is it the exchange? Right. So you be careful, investors, right? Remember we were talking about, you want to know about your money and where your money's going. You work hard for it, right? So why don't you protect it? That's called security, right? If you have your own vault at your own home, you want to protect your combination, your locker combination. Those are called seed words. You want to treat it that way with the utmost respect. And you've seen it in the news. Hey, some guy had 1 million Bitcoin in it or something like that, right? In a computer, and he went to the landfill, and he didn't know what he had. And now he's like, oh my gosh, I need to find this. There's millions of dollars of Bitcoin now. You watch that. All right. So guess what? We're going to the next level. By the way, Bitcoin and Ethereum, those two networks are called proof of work. All right. What do I mean by that? So there's these bulky, right? To play the vinyl and to play I remember the big boombox, like they were this big, right? They're big hardware. You need a lot of hardware. Well, proof of stake is now it's downloadable, right? You can play on your phone. You just download any song and that's it. It's proof of stake. All right? It's not super complicated. I know I'm super simplifying these things, and I know there's a couple of devs in here, and they're like, no, Tony, that's not right. But I just want everybody to understand a little bit how things work. All right? So that's where we're going. We're like in the digital now. So we went from analog to digital now. Remember the CD came out in 1983, right? Right? And then you had to buy all of your new CD, like all your tapes and your all vinyls. You had to buy everything again. You know, your Michael Jackson, you know, Thriller. You know, I remember that one. I had to buy it again. And I'm like, damn it, right? It's like thousands of dollars of my library and tapes. I had to rebuy it in CD. So that's what you want to understand. You want to understand what's going on today. Ask what's going on. We're going to have great speakers today. And this is just the premise on where we're going. You know, we want to understand where are we going, right? Pulse chain is coming out. Right? It's going to come out. And that's what we're waiting for. I know a lot of you guys are invested in it, and you guys see the vision of what's happening. So thank you very much, and have a good time. There's a lot of booths. So how things are going to work, we're going to be up here for the conference all the way to noon. Then we're going to have lunch after around noon time. That's why those tables in the back are, and we're going to open up over here, the tables. And there's going to be a cash bar as well. They're bringing up, sorry, the catering guys are apologetic. There was supposed to be water set up. So you're going to have waters, bottled waters, okay? So just bear with us as the organizers. Thank you very much for coming out. And I'll give it up again to our MC. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's go ahead and welcome our next guest speaker. Keenly attuned to the fashion, beauty, and entertainment world, our keynote speaker today is Roby Tao, a gifted, hugely popular speaker and author of Roby is a sought-after health advisor. Roby is a sought-after health advisor to some of the most famous names in music and acting today, and I mean the top names. Award-renowned judge participating in pageants from South Africa to Hollywood and Las Vegas, including Mr. and Mrs. and Mr. Nevada America. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Roby Tao.
I'm so honored to be here today because I am the wellness guru for the celebrities, which is all sitting here today. All the celebrities is here today. I'm so excited that Tony invited me to speak today. A quick little one about wellness. I don't want to bore anybody here with it because wellness could be very boring for people that's not interested in it. But that's not the whole idea. The whole idea is money. Crypto money. We're going to make money. Crypto is a new way of making money. That's wonderful. So people that actually is part of the crypto industry is exciting people that wants to take challenges, people that wants to move on. Now, you know, it's no use moving on, having all this wonderful money that you can make with crypto and everything, if you have debt or you in doctor's rooms all days, or you can't get in your new Lamborghini or Ferrari, it's just parked there to look at it. So I can help you. I've got a 15-second secret. So I'm not sending you to any gym. I'm not telling you to stop drinking booze because I drink it and I love it. I'm not telling you to stop eating chocolate because I've got a whole cupboard full of chocolate in my home. I'm telling you the secret of rejuvenation. I have a booth down there. I have staff that can tell you more. I've got a book out there, The Simplicity of Wellness. The wellness is so simple that if you don't know it, you'll be actually very sorry because you will experience wellness is so simple. It's not staying without drinks. It's not staying without this. It's not staying without this. I believe in a combination of food groups, and I've been practicing it for over the many, many years. When I was a kid, I was overweight. When I was a youngster, I was overweight. When I was never into sports or athletes or anything like that, but I have discovered the wellness. And I'm much fitter and healthier now by using the simple 15-second secret that I'm going to share with you today. I'm fitter now than I was when I was 20. Today I'm on my fittest level better than when I was 30. I'm fitter now than when I was 40. I'm much fitter now than when I was 50. I feel the best in my life. I feel much better when I was 60. When I turned over 70, and hey, your life starts. And I've discovered it. The secret of wellness is 15 seconds. You don't combine your saturated fats with your carbohydrates. I'm not going to go into detail about it because we have a booth downstairs. You can buy my book on Amazon. It's only $24. We have it down here as well. It will show you the secret. I share the secret with all my top celebrities all over the world. I travel all over the world. They fly me around to their homes. But today I'm so honored to be here with all of you today because you're the crypto people. So that's my kind of people. I'm very, very excited about it. Thank you so much. Any questions? Anybody want to ask a question about anything that you want to improve on, want to do?
What's the 15-second rule?
Belly fat.
Anybody?
Belly fat.
Belly fat, that's my job. Get rid of it. We don't do physical exercise. My clinics all over the world as a therapy that actually gets rid of it for you. But the biggest secret is your nutrition. So if you not combine your nutrition, let me give you a quick example of what I say. When I eat a steak tonight, I don't want to eat a potato with it. Because the potato is a carbohydrate, the steak is a saturated fat. Well, those two does not work together. If you eat it together, it stays in your body can't use it, and it actually bloats you up. You can eat your steak with your green vegetables like cabbage, cauliflower, zucchini, avocado, anything. It's a very simple understanding. I have even children on my program throughout the world. I have a kid that's working now for me, he's 24 years old, but his father brought him into my help when he was only 13 years old. And I took 65 pounds down with this kid and changed his life forever. And you know, it's so simple and so easy that everybody can do it. It's really, really simple because belly fat on men or women, doesn't matter where you have it, who has it, is a very dangerous kind of fat because it blocks the blood flow that goes through to your heart and to your brain that causes heart attacks and strokes. So you do not want belly fat. But we also, the sponsors for the Miss Nevada, America, Miss World, I'm a judge for Miss World, and all those girls come through our doors and our treatments and follow my system. If you want the best body, it's so easy, and it's available to all of you here. I don't say that you should improve your life. If you're happy with your life, that's wonderful. But remember, every morning you wake up, you're 1 day older. So we need to do one day more work on it. So in today's slide, there's aging, I believe. Aging is for sissies. You do not need to age. It's a procedure. Thank you very much.